Last debate for this evening, Valentine's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have resolved that Valentine's Day does more harm than good. Representing the government, we have Dean as our Prime Minister, and Michelle will be our Leader of the Opposition. Please welcome Dean to introduce his case.
Madam Speaker, Valentine's Day does more harm than good. Valentine's Day, February 14th, does more harm than good. Net negative effect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ponder that lovely movie where the couple goes up to the Empire State Building with the heart on the outside and they meet each other and it's wonderful love and blissful and great. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the movies. It don't happen that way in real life. There are men who spend inordinately large amounts of money on flowers, chocolates, candies, and every other device possible to woo women, all in the guise of Valentine's Day, based on a saint killed hundreds of years ago that nobody even knows anything about. The businesses, you will hear from the opposition, benefit wonderfully from that. It does great for the economy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're spending your money on hearts and flowers and everything else, and not on your mortgage and your car payments and everything else, it certainly is not going to do you any good, especially if you're trying to woo her, because you won't have anything for her other than a box of chocolates. It's like having a casino. It looks great on the outside, but the people working make nothing, and the social ills caused by it are enormous. As well, depression. How many single people get their loneliness reinforced on Valentine's Day? Everybody's having fun as a couple. Oh my! Depression sets in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there is a statistic that will tell you that a number of suicides occur on Valentine's Day. Like any other day. But if you're not the kind of person that doesn't care if you're alone, it doesn't work. Lastly, dental bad health. From all the chocolate and those crazy kids eating the on-sale candies after Valentine's Day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm shocked that he actually remembers the movie Sleepless in Seattle. The esteemed Prime Minister that is, who feels that trade unions should be banished. That he can even remember that romantic scene where they finally meet at the Empire State Building and there's the big heart. And why is that such a lovely scene? Why does that tug on our heartstrings? Because it's the movies. Of course it's the movies. And that's what you do with your loved one. And even if you are your own loved one, you can there's a whole series of magazines. Love yourself. I'm not talking anything dirty. I'm talking about to be comfortable within one's skin and to be comfortable enough to be able to say, I'm going to eat this box of chocolates on my own, or chips, or a bottle of wine, or a Coke, whatever makes you happy. It's fine. It's good. It's any other day, and it does a lot of good, not just harm. And yes, I will mention the economy, ladies and gentlemen. I have to mention the economy. It's a huge industry, and it's a Hallmark holiday. I'll give you that it's a Hallmark holiday. That's what my dad calls it. He also calls Mother's Day, Father's Day, Hallmark holidays, and don't even get him started about Family Day. Of course these days are Hallmark holidays. They're just created to make us feel good, because in February we're depressed. Yes, there's lots of suicides in February, and lots of suicides in Christmas too, and New Year's. And let's not forget final exams and midterm exams, and oh my goodness, it's March 1st. Of course, that's completely unrelated. April 19th. Those people who are not here tonight, I'm sure there's a staggering statistic, but Valentine's Day is the warm and fuzzy. It gives us an excuse to eat chocolates. It gives us an excuse to be nice to somebody else. It gives us an excuse to hold the door open and not let it slam in somebody's face. Or to buy flowers, although I recommend buying them on February 15th because they're much cheaper, and chocolate goes down too, so why waste your money? I'm not talking about spending a lot of money. I'm talking about spending a couple of extra minutes where you're nice to somebody else. It's a foreign concept, I realize, to the esteemed Prime Minister, who, aside from remembering that lovely scene in the movie, and it's Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, of course, it's the movies, it's completely fabricated. She goes all the way to Seattle to meet a guy, come on. But we have to look at, it's not a casino. It's not something that's ingenuine. disgenuine. It's not that we're creating words tonight. It's not something that we're talking about the social ills. We're talking about a nice feeling. And that's really what the opposition wants to stress today. Valentine's Day does more good than harm because it reminds us of those of us who are loved in our lives and why they're loved. And maybe that's ourselves, and maybe that's our neighbor, and maybe that's our mother, father, child, dog, cat, bird, anybody. I had a little bird for a long time. His name was Romeo. He was very cute, and he always got treats on Valentine's Day. So I did a lot of good. And the treat was 98 cents, ladies and gentlemen. I did not spend a lot of money because he was a bird. Please defeat this resolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're suggesting here that we get warm and fuzzy. We'll get a cat. Everybody needs a pet, apparently. I would agree that you are promoting that idea. Notice that she encouraged you to wait until the day after Valentine's Day to buy your chocolates because they're half price. Therefore, the economic benefit to the companies that make it or the companies that sell it is now half. So therefore, it does not do more good, it does more harm to the economy, in fact, being cheap. So ladies and gentlemen, you can't win coming or going. If you're a guy that's trying to buy chocolate, you look like a nerd. And if you are a guy buying it after Valentine's Day, you're certainly not giving it to your significant other because you're definitely getting it half price and definitely looking like a nerd. My issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that Valentine's Day does more harm than good. It does not promote goodwill between couples. It is an attempt by generally the male to impress someone with no discernible value economically.
I didn't get into same-sex unions, eh? Okay, who votes for the Prime Minister, our esteemed Prime Minister? Wonderful Prime Minister, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who votes for me?
All men.